shoot roast of our favourite sex pig. Right, where do you begin with this one? Well, let me just start by saying I haven't been uploading to YouTube for a while because I'm working. As you can see, the decor behind me, I'm in a very expensive kitchen. That's because I'm pretty much house sitting. I say house sitting. I'm in a £30 million house in central London that's been repossessed by the bank, and I am making sure it stays safe. So I'm residential security for the foreseeable future. So I am, pretty much stuck here. It's not a bad place, and I will do a video showing exactly what £30 million buys you in central London. But for today, we got to talk about this. I mean, even Shadow Man has come back to talk about this one. My current supplement stack. I mean, this just reeks of absolute desperation. Absolute desperation. I mean, this is so tragic. I mean, this video, I've watched it already. He goes through the whole video, is 12 minutes long, and he just contradicts everything he's been saying for the last few years. Supplements don't work. Anyone buying supplements is wasting their money. Anyone buying collagen or creatine is an idiot. You know, all this stuff. And then he finishes it off by tapping his little vial here, sort of insinuating that he's on the steroids again. So just think about this. This guy has got all these products. You've got whey protein, collagen, melatonin, because he doesn't get any sunlight, creatine, and flax seed, because that's got oil in it, and it's an alternative. It's a bad alternative to omega-3, 6, and 9, which are your essential oils and fatty acids. Yeah, but he takes flax seeds because he doesn't like the indigestion he gets from eating fish oil capsules. I don't know what kind of cheap shit he buys, but I eat 3, 6, and 9 omega oils, and they don't give you any sort of indigestion or fishy sort of aftertastes. So I mean, there's something very wrong with this system. But just think about this, yeah? He's got all this crap that he's trying to convince us that he's taking, including the steroids. He trains 7 days a week. He's an elite athlete, apparently. And just look at him. I mean, talk about not being able to polish a turd. You know, so by having all this shit here, saying he does this, and he's on the gear again, and he still looks like absolute dog shit. He's got no cardiovascular system, that, you know, he gets out of breath just talking. You know, I mean, that must mean his genetics are so bad that he should have died at birth. He shouldn't have survived the womb. He's like an aborted fetus that somehow grabbed onto life and just kept going. He's like that thing, that hunchback thing in 300 that really should have been cast into the pit of filth, but he clung to life. He's like the thing in Basket Case. You know, I mean, he's just a diseased piece of trash that really shouldn't have made it past the first few days of life. I mean, you know, real scum. If he's consuming all this shit and steroids, and he still looks like shit, and he's still got to use fake, you know, technique plates, £5 technique plates, to bump his numbers up and convince everyone he's doing 600 600-pound deadlifts. I mean, Christ, he's bad. It's bad. It's worse than we thought. Anyway, let's get cracking on this video because, you know, it's absolutely pathetic. He just goes through the whole video contradicting everything that he said for the last few years.
Blaha here, and once again it's time for current events in the online fitness community, and today I haven't looked into anything. I thought I would try to do one of these about once a week. So instead, you know, I've had a lot of people ask me, what supplements do I take? And normally I'm not really big on supplements. I don't believe in most people needing to take a lot of supplements. I think 95% of the supplements on the market, other than for mostly health purposes, which is a lot of what I take, are pretty much useless, right? They're pretty much useless, can be largely filled in with real foods, okay? So I am generally known as anti-supplement, but I would say probably at this point in my training, again, you guys see me squatting mid-500s, deadlifting over 600, deficit deadlifting over 600, all that stuff up in my 40s. There are a few things that I use here and there trying to get a very, very small advantage, and I am going to...
Advantage for what? I mean, you know, he's talking like he is at the peak of athletic performance. He cannot get any better without all this junk. He's talking like he is an elite Olympian athlete, and he's trying to eke out fractions. He's just a fucking idiot. Save your money and train properly. Get rid of the bands, the chains and the bullshit and just fucking train properly. You know, do something that's gonna work the whole body and just give you some sort of, you know, functional use. You know, the idea of clinging to the fact that he can lift 600 pounds off the floor for one rep. Whoopie-doo. Where does that come into real life? You know, but the way he's talking like he's an elite Olympian, trying to get fractions of a second over other elite Olympians. I mean, it really is. It's a fucking wind-up. Listen, this is why I'm happy not to have done much on this clown for a while. But, you know, it's just... Well, this video is just extra special because it's even brought, like I say, Shadow Man back. But this guy's a fucking moron. And a hypocrite and a liar and a fake. How long's he had this whey protein in his cupboard? It's probably empty, all this stuff. Probably found it in a skip or something. You know, I don't know.
Tell you guys straight up, supplements are probably not going to make a noticeable difference. Or they got spiked with something. So a lot of what I take is there for health management, just keeping my health on point, injury prevention, stuff like that. Better sleep, okay? Not that specialist stuff. So I guess I should cover some of that. And right up front, speaking of just, again, nutrition and everything, this one, I don't know that we'd call it a supplement. I count it as a supplement. I have cold milled flax seeds. Yes, you store these in the freezer.
Why does he say it like that? You store it in the freezer! Hasn't even been opened. He's probably just read it online, you know, or in some woman's magazine. Oh, buy some flaxseed oil because it helps with your periods. So he's run out and bought some. Because I guarantee he gets periods. I bet he gushes blood once a month.
Brand I'm using is called Premium Gold. Actually a very good company. Very, very good company, good reputation. I'm actually somewhat familiar with them even before.
He sounds like Jason Genova there, doesn't he? Yeah. The brand I use is Gold. Fantastic Gold. Very good company. Just a moron.
I bought this product, but I get this here at Costco. It's just milled flaxseed. Why? Because I don't always want to take fish oil. I don't always believe that fish oil is always ideal. There could be issues with mercury, going rancid quickly, everything else. I don't like the fish burps. Weekend.
Don't like the fish burps. What's he talking about? What kind of cheap fucking fish oil supplements does he buy in the past? Huh? What's he bought in the past that makes you puke up fish oil in your own mouth? I mean, it's just because his digestive system, he's probably got ulcers and all sorts, you know, from just the poor diet, you know. Everything you can imagine, ulcers, kidney fucking stones, everything, urinary tract infections. I mean, you can guarantee this guy's riddled with disease and ailments. Absolute filth.
Argue that the ALA doesn't convert efficiently to EPA and DHA in humans very well. We can make a lot of points about that, but mainly I'm just shift over. But because of the lower fat intake and almost all of my fats coming from like oats or chicken breast and things like that, I'm getting very, very little fat in my diet. It's just, again, an insurance policy, plus it's got extra fiber and stuff, great for digestive health, your GI tract, because of the nature of the flax seeds.
He really has been like reading the women's magazines, isn't he? Helps with your urinary tract, so you don't get urinary tract infections. I mean, what's he talking about? He just reads women's magazines and that. Then he goes, well, we know because I covered it in an old video where he was. He was watching, I think it was a Gossip Girl video that I made, where he was looking on some teenage girl website, you know? He was going, oh yeah, get gossiping about some teenage girl issues. I mean, the guy's a freak.
And they do need to be milled. You can't digest whole flax seeds. So that's right up front. Number 2 up here, most important supplement to me, melatonin. I take 10.
He takes melatonin because he's so pale. Because he's scared to leave the house. In Texas, he is the most pale person ever. I mean, he looks like this spoon. Pale, translucent skin. You can see his veins, probably see his heart beating or something. You know, I mean, he's like Gollum. So he has to take this shit, this melatonin. Surprised he doesn't do that Jabbertan stuff, you know, where he jabs a syringe into himself to try and give himself a little tan. But if it's melatonin, I mean, what's he talking about? Why is it, you know, just go out in the sun.
Milligrams of these. I take a 10 milligram non-time release melatonin. There's plenty of research on this, like for people who say things like, well, could a person become dependent on it? No, it's been studied. It's been studied at very, very high.
Do you see that? He really does listen to like teenage stuff, you know. He says, watch his head movement. Yeah? Can you get addicted? No, you can't get addicted to it. Studies been done on it. Watch his head movement, watch. Where he says, can you get addicted to it? No, you can't get addicted to it. Like he's been reading, like watching, like just teenage girl websites, watch.
And release melatonin. There's plenty of research on this, like for people who say things like, well, could a person become dependent on it? No, it's been studied. It's been studied at very, very high doses, much higher than 10 milligrams. People don't develop a dependency on it. Other than the vivid dreams, there's no side effects. The dreams are very, very vivid. I'm going to tell you right now, if you take a 10 milligram one of these, you're going to have intense dreams.
And he just,
that's to be expected.
He just goes on to pimp all these shitty, cheap products, you know, saying that he's trying to eke out, you know, fractions against his competitors. Let's bear in mind, this fucking freak, he says he's a master's power lifter. Yeah? To be a master's anything, I know because I go into master's judo. I've been eligible to go into master's judo, which is old boy judo. Yeah? 40 plus. Yeah, you have to be 40 over, 40 plus, 40 and above to be eligible to go into masters, anything, powerlifting, judo, whatever. Yeah. So he has never entered a masters event. He says he's a elite masters powerlifter. That shitty piss pot little fucking regional meet in the middle of God knows where in Britain, where he placed so low on the Wilks score. I mean, you're talking about 300. There were girls beating him. Yeah, there's girls beating him. You can still see the stuff. You know, you just type in, what was it, UK Power Meets and Jason Blaha. You see his name there, and he's well below girls and fucking everyone. You know, so he's well down in the 300-400s. You know, I mean, really low, and he still goes on about it. He's still got his little participation medals nailed to the wall. That's going to come out of his deposit when he gets kicked out of his apartment. But he never entered in his life a Masters event because he was younger than 40. He was at 36 when he entered that Mickey Mouse middle of nowhere meet in Britain and placed really low. So he claims he's a Masters power athlete, powerlifter, never entered a Masters event in his life because he's done nothing for years. And now he says he's in his 40s. He's eligible if he was, you know, not scared and terrified to leave his apartment. He's eligible to enter because of his age, but he won't and he hasn't. So he's not a Masters power athlete. He's not a coach. He's none of these things. I've got 19 clients. He's got no clients. Yeah, does a bit of G4P on the side, a few cam shows. Stevie Queenie says that, doesn't he? In my comments, whether it's true or not, I don't know. But Stevie Queenie's down there saying he sticks things here and there, and yeah, really earns his money. I don't know how he can walk afterwards and all that stuff. Whether it's true or not, I don't know. But anyway, in this video, he just goes on to try and pimp these fucking useless products. Starts talking about collagen and saying it's great for connective tissue because he read that somewhere. And my fiance Mel, she actually takes collagen. It's the new big thing. I don't, you know, but she takes it because it's good for your skin and all that sort of stuff. So again, it's a woman's fad. Collagen is really good with. It's really hot right now. It's a hot topic. It's a new fad that all the women are taking, and obviously the homosexual men, which is why Jason Blaha is now taking collagen. Creatine, well, creatine, all that does is makes you very watery, doesn't it? Plumps you up, makes you hold a lot of water in your muscle and your skin. I've taken creatine when I was younger. Didn't like it because it makes you all puffy. And then whey protein, well, he goes on to say that, you know, he can't be bothered to cook because he's too lazy. So he has a fucking shake. Whoopie-doo, you know. But the worst bit of this video is at the end where he sort of taps the little steroid bottle and he says, I think I've covered everything. You know, so we'll just cover that there. You know, and it's just such a desperate attempt to be relevant. You know, we know his videos only make, you know, a maximum of 2,000, about 1,100, 1,700 views. You know, that's all his videos, his G4P sort of hot booty workouts. They get about less than 2,000 views. He has to do stuff like this because it gets him like 3 times the views. That's all it is. It's a desperate attempt, and it's desperate struggle to be relevant. You know, it's like that video he made where he's going, oh, please tell people to talk about me. Please, I'm relevant. Please tell them to talk about me. Yeah, please tell them to be talking about me. I'm more relevant. He's irrelevant. Anyway, so now he says, I've covered everything. And then he taps. He's got his little steroid bottle and he taps it. He goes, yeah, I think I've covered everything, guys. I think I've covered everything. Look, guys, I've got some steroids. Look, guys. Look, I think I've covered everything, but I'm not going to talk about this little bottle of steroids. Oh, no. Absolutely pathetic. Let's watch.
It's just a supplemental protein source that I use sporadically throughout the week. It's not really a mainstay or essential. It's just a convenience. I pick Optimal Nutrition for reasons we covered before. It's one of the few brands that years and years ago made it through Consumer Reports testing. Most of the major brands failed. Most major brands of protein are garbage. They have a consistent record of doing well with Consumer Reports.
Yeah, look, yeah, anyone taking anything else, it's garbage, it's crap, but the one I take is the best. Yeah, it's the same shit with Blaha, you know? Anything anyone else is doing, it's crap, it doesn't work, it's shit, but if he does it, it's the best. It's the same shit.
Lab test what's in there in terms of contaminants and stuff is purely a health issue for me. It costs a little more, but they're actually relatively cheap still. They're still a semi-budget brand of protein. I mean, all things considered, they're mid-range cost protein. They're not cheap. They're not ultra expensive, especially if you buy bulk. It's in that mid-range range. But it always passed quality standards, right? And the cookies and cream taste pretty good, so that's what I get. And I think that pretty much covers everything important that we need to know about here, right? I don't think I missed anything. All right, guys, well, that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative. And but it always passed quality standards, right? And the cookies and cream taste pretty good, so that's what I get. And I think that pretty much covers everything important that we need to know about here, right? I don't think I missed anything. All right, guys, well, that's really all I have to say.
I mean, how pathetic. How pathetic. Really, I mean, really pathetic. Oh, I think that covers everything, guys, that we need to know about. I mean, absolutely childish. Blaha, if you're on gear, no one gives a fuck. It makes it worse if you are because you look like shit. That's it. Anyone who's actually taken all this gear, all this stuff here, all these supplements and gear should at least look good. Not like a fucking bag of shit like you. I mean, please tell me in the comments what you're thinking. And I had to just chuck this in on the end. This is from his Q&A session. A client sent me this. As a client. Salad Blaha. One of my subs sent me this. From his recent Q&A, from yesterday's Q&A. Apparently this sock account asks him, are you aware who are you aware of that has credentials to train people with disabilities? Yeah, that's the question. Blaha makes it about himself, boldly stating that credentials and qualifications mean nothing. Yeah. So people going to school, people going to college, people going to getting degrees in physiology and sports science, you know, athletic fucking performance, all this stuff, yeah. Nutrition means nothing. You know, years of study, thousands and thousands of pounds worth of training and learning means nothing. Hear it for yourself.
Who are you aware of that has the credentials to train people with disabilities to reach strength goals? Your advice is all centered around average people. True, it is. Because that's who I deal with. That's my audience. That's my training demographic. Although average people are not necessarily my normal clients. My clients are actually geared towards amateur athletes mostly. Or people who have very, very, very serious strength goals. So as far as that goes, credentials are irrelevant. There is no such thing as a true credential to teach someone to be a strength coach or a personal trainer or a coach of any merit.
So it's all nonsense. There's no, you know, to be a strength coach, a personal trainer. Nah, you don't need any credentials. Let's hear it again, because you can't believe that he's actually saying that. So these elite level athletes, trainers, You know, these people that have been to, like I say, college, uni, everything, university, they've got degrees. Nah. All you need is a YouTube channel.
Necessarily my normal clients. My clients are actually geared towards amateur athletes mostly.
So they're not clients, guys, they're amateur athletes. Mm.
Or people who have very, very, very serious strength goals. So as far as that goes, credentials are irrelevant. There is no such thing as a true credential to teach someone to be a strength coach or a personal trainer or a coach of any merit. Okay?
So credentials, diplomas, it's all, you know, it's all irrelevant. You know, any qualifications, it's all irrelevant. Yeah, it's all irrelevant. Means nothing. Yeah.
Let's just get that out of the way. The best coaches I have ever met in my life have no concept of a certificate. They don't have any such thing. Okay? You've got to understand that. Most people with credentials are mediocre at best. The majority. Like, credentials don't mean anything. They have no meaning other than getting a job at a gym. If you own your own gym, it's not necessary. If you own your own coaching facility or business, it's not necessary.
Yeah, well, you need insurance. You can only really get liability insurance or open a gym when you have some sort of, I'm sure it's the same in the US. You know, you won't get the insurance, you won't get this stuff if you're just some bum off the street. Some bum with a YouTube channel, pretending he's a coach. Pretending he's a mercenary this week, and next week he's a coach. And, you know, who knows the week after that what he's going to be, you know? Jesus, can you believe this fucking idiot? Anyway, guys, it's quite a long video, so I know it's been a while, but I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope it's been informative. I mean, this guy just gets worse, doesn't he? And you just get like Blaha derangement from watching him. I mean, he's such a fucking idiot. You know, every time he makes a video, he just embarrasses himself. So I'm going to leave it there, guys. All right, so have a great evening. I've got to get back to hard work of being in a £30 million house with a gym, indoor swimming pool, jacuzzi, cinema, and all the rest of it. I'm not allowed to use it, but you know, it's there. Alright guys, I'm going to speak to you later.
I ain't no white trash piece of shit. I'm better than you all. I can outlearn you. I can outread you. I can outthink you. And I can out-philosophize you. And I'm gonna outlast you.